Well, good afternoon, everyone. I am at this beautiful park and I'm going to start a little watercolor. It's not something that I usually do for Art Rave. Mostly Art Rave is acrylic painting, as you may know, but I brought my travel watercolors because I'm on vacation. And I also may paint this later on in acrylic, but watercolor is just such a fun way to do quick paintings, especially when you're traveling, just because the paint doesn't dry on your brushes and it's just very quick and easy. Hi, Jody. Hi, Cindy. So I'm just at this beautiful outdoor park. I just gotta give you a quick. And my son is at a lacrosse practice down there. So while he's practicing for his lacrosse tournament tomorrow, we are waiting and painting and drawing in the park. So Giselle is working on a little drawing here. She's starting a little face. That's her so far. And I'm taking I took some reference photos. We just got back from Lark Street in Albany, New York. And this is a little sketch that I started from some of my photos. So I'm going to ink this in and I'll share my little ink drawing with you. And then I'm going to paint it a little bit later. So let me put my phone up. I did bring a little phone holder and I'm going to get this positioned correctly so that you can watch my little ink drawing here. See if I can straighten this out a tiny bit. There we go. Okay, so once I drew it out, I'm going to take some micron pens and I'm going to do a skinny one because this is pretty small. So maybe I'll do a 1. I need my spectacles. Hi, Susan. So I'm going to do a quick little pen and ink drawing of this house. Giselle, did you put some of these photos on your phone? Did you transfer some of my photos to your phone?
No.
Okay. Anyways, I can't show you the photos because they're actually, of course, on my phone that I'm using to film. But I will post the photo that I took and that I used for this, and I'll put it in the post. So I'm just going to start my drawing. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing the little plants first because they are going to go in front of a bunch of the other little things. So I'm going to and I want to draw them loose because I'm going to be adding watercolor, so they don't need to be fully drawn here. But they just represented in little flower pots. And there were some hanging baskets that were really cool. So I'm going to put some little hanging baskets here. So I start off with the plants because of course I can get big and crazy and then keep them. These are hanging baskets. And I just drew one line before I decided to do a pencil. So there's a little hanging baskets. Now, this is from another photo. I'm going to do some little trees here. These are baskets that were kind of like on the ground. And I love the loose, sketchy kind of, I'm going to play with this, make it really loose and sketchy. I love that. And you don't need to I know that this looks really detailed, but once you start, tell yourself when you're going to be doing something like this, say, I'm going to keep it simple so it's not stressful. And let yourself do it. Give yourself permission to be as simple as you need to be so that it's not stressful. And then once you didn't make that decision, you can make it as detailed as you want and it doesn't seem stressful anymore because you can give yourself permission at any time to cut out detail. You don't have to do everything super detailed. So when you're looking to the side, so I'm not worried about lines being perfectly straight. I actually kind of want things to be a little sketchy and a little irregular. There's my little window. So this is at the ground level. Okay, so there's like little weeds. And let's see, we've got a banister coming down here. And we've got little stairs going across. Now in Albany, New York, there's a shopping / art district called Lark Street. That's where we went today. Notice how I'm not following the pencil lines exactly. I'm deciding when I want to make a change and straighten out my lines from before. And then there's a railing here. It's going to go over the plants. Okay, let's start on the door. So I have my main frame out here. I'm going to try and do that as straight as possible. So I'm trying to do them straight. I mean, I make that attempt to do it straight, but I don't worry if it's a little wobbly because that actually looks pretty cool. So the cool thing about architectural detailing is that there's lots of lines. So you can't be afraid to make lots of lines. And there was a window up on top here. See, I'm sort of straightening it out a little bit from my pencil sketch. Just a little bit. Again, I like the sketchy kind of look, so I'm trying to keep it a little bit sketchy. You could do it a lot sketchy if that's your style. Or if you just are not good at doing straight lines. Drawing, of course.
Cool.
I am recording.
What?
I said I am doing a live.
Oh, sorry.
That's right. So there's lots of little panels in these doors. So there's actually some pretty famous doors in Albany, New York. And so this is not one of them, but it definitely, they are. I saw a poster, which I bought. It's actually just a little greeting card, but it was called The Doors of Albany. So these little tiny architectural details, I could get out a smaller micron pen. This is a 01. And I'll do that maybe in a little bit, because then I want some really fine lines. So here's my, and I'm putting a plant up here. Actually, let me try a smaller one. Where's that small one? Okay, so here's a 005. So this one's really small. So it's a finer line. So we can do little squiggles for this little plant. And then I can do little details in the so there's like little architectural details in here. I'm just going to make little scribbles. Whoa, it's really wobbly. That's all right. Because once you start putting all these lines together, it doesn't really matter if they're perfect. They all start to look so cool together. Just Ellie, you're bouncing the chair and making me squiggle.
Squiggles add character.
They do. All right, let's see. Let's add a little extra. All right, so we're getting close. We're almost done with our pen drawing, and then we're going to start watercoloring. So the building was brick, and then there was trees behind it, so that's what I have, this little space here. And I'm not going to use the whole piece of paper. I'm going to actually only use a portion of it. a square watercolor pad, but I'm going to make this a rectangular painting. Okay, so there were little curtains kind of in here. So I'm just going to draw some little curtains in there. And then, oh, I got to do the windowsill here. So since I was standing right here, looking this way, that's why you can see this side of the window frame, but not this side. See how this side's, because it's moving over to the side. Same thing here, you can see the side of this opening here, but you can't see it here because I'm actually a little at a slant. And then there's brick, and I don't need to paint or draw every brick. All I need to do is just do a couple little dashes, and see, that just gives a suggestion of brick. So you can just draw a few little lines and dashes. All right, so there's my little brick building, and then I'm going to do the little watercolor. So I'm going to stop the video there, and I'm going to post some pictures of the reference photos, and then I'm going to restart the video, and then I'm going to restart the video and start watercoloring it in.